Happy Saturday. Today we are celebrating Global Wellness Day, and we have a very special guest for this fireside chat. We're excited to have Suzanne Chilton. Suzanne is a guru, reflexologist, and a mom, an entrepreneur as well. And then she's going to share with us why feet are so important to our general well-being and how we can read in our feet what's happening in our body. My name is Paola Shah. I am the founder and CEO of Tucketts. Tucketts are high-performance toeless grip socks that enhance your foot-brain connection and helps you step into any per-foot workout.
So I'm Suzanne Chilton. I'm a registered foot reflexologist with the Reflexology Association of Canada. I work mainly with feet, so foot reflexology. I'm also a mom. We have a 7-year-old and an entrepreneur like yourself, and healing and things wellness. So
great, Suzanne. And before we start kind of diving into reflexology, I would like to know, who were you before doing reflexology, or what were you doing before reflexology? And then what was the trigger point that took you to focus on reflexology?
Because it's definitely something that is my purpose and passion. Although I felt like I had that before, but it's kind of like another version of it. So I started off in the arts, the creative arts. I was a performer, and also worked with my hands a lot, did visual art. So that was kind of like my whole life I had been working towards that. And it wasn't until after I had my daughter, my husband ended up having cancer. So the whole health journey of dealing with that and dealing with treatments. And it was kind of over that time that I became more focused on other holistic practices, what to do other than just the traditional therapies. And that's what got me thinking about caring for people and offering what I was doing with my husband. Body work and working with energy would allow me to share that with other people. So that's kind of what got me thinking about reflexology. And the funny thing is I kind of bypassed foot reflexology at first because I just thought, I don't need to work on people's feet. That's fine. Like, I didn't have any problem with them, but I thought, maybe I'll do massage therapy, like full body, that sort of thing. But I had a massage therapist mention about reflexology that a lot of the time they just miss the feet. They don't focus on the feet. And so I went into it again and realized that it was really fascinating the way that our whole body is connected to our feet, your mental body connection. And so that really interested me. So I just dove in after that, all my training, and I still do a lot of training now. There's always things to learn. So I feel like purpose for sure, helping people and growing and sharing sort of reflexology with the world.
And then going back to your husband having cancer, did he do any reflexology during that time?
So actually at the time, no.
Or after?
We would get the odd massage here and there, but we weren't really, we didn't know as much about alternative health practices as we do now. Kind of just followed the regular route with the oncologist and, the chemo and radiation and surgery that, is normally prescribed when you do have something like that. So we just followed that and diet a bit, but we didn't really have access or think about trying all of, any of these other types of therapies. And over 10 years ago now, so knowing what I know now, of course, we would have probably treated the whole process very different, at least would have balanced it out with these different types of therapies that are so good at helping the body generate and our natural healing piece.
And then, so my next question is, you mentioned that someone told you, like, even many people training body massage don't always focus on feet, right? And then this is one of the reasons why Tucketts are toeless. And it's the fact that most people want to hide their feet. Not everyone feels comfortable with their toes in particularly, but I think we are all missing of giving the toes the opportunity to be part of our daily activities. It can be walking, a workout, or even a massage session. So from your experience and knowledge, why shall we all focus a bit more on our feet?
So based on reflexology, our whole body is represented in the feet. So I have here all of our reflexes that relate back to the rest of our body are within the feet. So when we do close up our toes in shoes or socks, that doesn't allow us that natural activation that happens when we walk barefoot, or how we're supposed to be walking in grass, walking on different textures. All of that actually does the natural reflexology just via walking. So in that way, we're not getting, back up our body. We're not getting stimulation to the brain. And it makes me wonder nowadays with so many people with anxiety like that, if part of it is because we cover our and we're not that information in our brain, and our brain's just sort of like needing something to busy us. So that's very important. Also, just for the anatomy of the foot, it's very important to have the toes be splayed so that we've tripod, right? So our pressure goes on here, down here, and up here. So when our toes aren't splay and sort of be anchored for us, our whole alignment is changed, our balance is changed, our flexibility. Certainly as we get older, the toes get more crunched in and we lose a lot of that balance. So some of the best things you can do for your feet are wearing the having the toes being able to grip the ground wherever they do, and also make sure you're wearing shoes with enough toe box that it's not squishing and scrunching your toes. So yeah, it's super important. And like you said, most people ignore their feet. They're just down there. We shove them into socks, and we don't really think about how integral they are in our walking, our everyday, our movement, our alignment.
Right. And then, so from a reflexology point of view, our feet, or in our feet, we find kind of the map of our body, right? Like in different parts of our feet. And then there are certain things that they're obvious, and then we can see that the body is manifesting on the feet about something that is not working, and actually is not related to the feet, but a different part of the body. For example, bunions, or callus, or like extreme dryness. So if we take those three that are kind of the most common ones, that almost everybody will have minimum once in their lifetime, right? So what are those physical kind of showing of our illnesses or lack of something that is missing in the body telling us? So kind of my question is, let's go beyond just like, oh, it's just a bunion, or like, oh yeah, I have a callus because I've been walking too much here and there, or things like that. Because I can say I hike a lot. I climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. It was like 9 days hiking nonstop, very long days. The last day was 18 hours on my feet. I didn't get one blister, nothing, like absolutely nothing. And my feet came back beautifully. But I think it was also because I was eating properly, resting, and then taking care of my feet, like being very aware of my feet. Anyway, so just to say, it's like, so if we were going to do a foot reading here, What callus, bunions, and I mentioned three,
Right.
and extreme dryness
Right. So,
mean?
yeah, you're totally right. Communication that's going on between the body and the feet works both ways. So, one of the things I do with every client that I see in person is at the end, I tell them what I find in their feet. And they're always interested in this because sometimes it's not just shoes, wearing on your toe or, those things can happen because maybe that part of the back out of balance, and then the shoe begins to wear against it, and that creates more balance in the as well. So it kind of works both ways. But as far as some of those main things, like bunions usually occur on this toe joint here. It's a lot of people think bunions are genetic, but for the most part, they're actually more just environmental, the way that you walk, the alignment of your feet, whether you're walking in shoes that, go straight up and around with a toe box, or most people's feet get pushed or toe gets. So it pushes out this bone here. It starts rubbing against your shoes and can be very painful. So in reflexology, right along this line, inner bone, the inside edge of the foot is our spine, leading from our head and neck down the upper back, mid back, lower spine. So where bunions occur is kind of at the base of the neck and back. So a lot of people who have bunions, the bunion will be made the neck and the upper back tighter because of the imbalance going on there. If you have a tight neck and upper back, it can manifest down on the foot where the bunion. So that's what a bunion do. Callus, for example, people have callus in this area, is very popular. And again, this is our shoulder in the area here. So people who have callus and like crunchiness through this area, if you feel it, it's related to the tightness in our shoulder, which a lot of people have too. We're a lot, we're in position a lot, driving. And then extreme dryness too, reflexology can be an indicator of hormones being out of balance, not just dry feet. It can relate to that things system in the body is imbalanced. So by working on the feet and releasing all these reflexes, we can actually, the rest of the body, help it release, help it rebalance, and get that natural healing on. So, it's not shoes.
So, for example, are there other things in our feet that, so I mentioned like the most common ones, right? Are the ones that we all see, but which ones are the ones that you probably see because of your experience, but we don't see because we just don't know? But if we had this much of knowledge, we would be able, to look and say like, oh, like right, something is happening here.
Callus is one of the biggest ones. So callus means areas of imbalance. Something's off. Maybe there's pain in that area. Maybe there's, if it happens to be over an organ, it can mean that organ is not working optimally. So people can definitely look at the bottom of the feet and at a map, which I've got lots of different on my page, and sort of see where they're having issues in their body. And the whole idea is if you work that on your feet via the reflexology, and I do have lots of free tutorials on my page and courses and stuff like that. If they work that out, you're actually going to help work that out in your body as well. So it's really important to pay attention to your feet, and we can get that information about what's going on in the body by just looking at our feet. So it can be, I would say callus is the most popular. I also look for things like puffiness, relate to inflammation or retaining fluid. Feel a lot, so I use feel a ton for different things that feel like crystals or deposits. And again, those are areas that are showing that they need help. They need a little bit of work done on them.
Right. And then, so if you could give us kind of an advice or a tip of what to do in order to avoid those type of issues as we age, because I feel like unfortunately we don't pay attention until we have like extreme pain or something is kind of impeding us from walking or just enjoying our daily activities. But so if you could give us a tip of how we can be more proactive instead of waiting.
I think the biggest thing that we both support is not ignoring our feet, making sure that we realize they're an active part of our body. We don't just shove our hands into little gloves all day and then try to go about our day, right? We have them out, we have them working, we're exercising them, moving them. They get a lot of movement in the day, right? So just to think about your feet the same way you do your hands, and include them in your workout. Working out bare feet when you're doing stretches can be very helpful, so that you're the ground and you're just becoming more aware. Also, make sure you're soaking your feet and just taking time to, removing those calluses and whatnot can be helpful for those reflexes underneath, so that you have more access to them, not just let calluses build up and become very hard, and then you're not actually going to get that stimulation on the foot because you've got all these calluses built up. So soaking the feet, taking care of them that way, walking barefoot outside whenever you can, just to, it's called earthing, so that you connect with the ground. Every walking on sand or on the ground, that's really helpful for your body. And just, socks like yours, or making sure your shoes are more of a barefoot style. They don't have a big rise on the bottom, quite flat, and there's for your toes, just to allow them to splay out, because you will find over time that some people start off with feet this wide, and over time they realize they relax out and they're a lot wider than they thought they were, and that's how they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be a really good, foundation. So you will notice changes in your feet over time if you just become more aware of them and just treat them with a little bit more love, right?
Right. Yeah. I always think like we need to, if we could take care of our feet in the same way that we take care of our face.
Exactly, right.
It would be amazing, right?
It's just as important. It's actually probably important, right? Because your whole body's standing on them. So, and obviously you're committed to that. If you did all that and never had any issues, it really pays off dividends, especially as you get older, and that balance, they lose that flexibility. A large part via the feet, because they just get so crunched up and stiff and painful, and then they get worse over time, right? Because you're not able to use them.
Suzanne, could you show us one or two exercises or pressure points that you think we all should do?
Sounds good. So I've got, let's see, I call her I'm sure you have lots of these with your little socks on them. This little one very simple way to just start activating the bottom of your feet and feeling around, and working out little calluses and stuff on your own feet, is just work the zones of the feet. So if you think of under each toe as a zone, this is zone 1, which actually relates to this zone of our body, and then zone 2 goes out a little bit further, so it's as if this would be on here and the other. So under each toe there, and what I like, you can take some just oil, you can do it dry as well, but just working, I do this little thumb walk here, it's almost like a little inchworm, but you can also slide up all the way to the top and back down, and working sort of in that all the way across, and taking your time to stop and kind of feel for areas that are tender, and if they are, taking a moment on there and working out little bumps and that in areas of callus, pressing on them a bit more. And basically this is just going to help to release a lot of the inflammation and tissues in the bottom of your feet, can actually carry it on the top of your feet as well, all the way up. But that's a really great way just to start activating your feet, but also just releasing them. Like, we have so many muscles and tendons and ligaments in there. That's a really great one just to start loosening all the tissues, and you will feel a difference after, right? Everything will be a lot looser. And then one reflex I really wanted to show you guys that I love is, I say it's for back pain, and it's the spinal reflexes. And I love this one because the spine goes through our body, our nerves of all of our organs run through there. It's a really great one to just do daily to stress in your body and also relieve any pain that you might find. So again, if you feel along the inside end of your foot, there's actually a bone. Sorry, I'll try to. I don't feel it on the bridge that runs down. I'm gonna do it here. So, inner edge of your foot, and it kind of goes into the heel there, and just massage on there. And you can do a sliding motion as well. But sliding up and down the bone, it's really helpful for activating the. Can you feel it? Are you trying it?
Yeah, I'm trying it, and I can. I'm sorry, I'm late.
Yeah.
But yeah,
if you can sit in butterfly pose, and do both sides at the same time, or just one at a time too, whatever works for you. But basically just sliding up and down that bridge there, and again, stopping on any areas that are painful. Just taking an extra moment, take a deep breath in, make sure you're breathing, because our breathing helps release things within the body so much. So just giving that spinal reflex a little bit of love there usually will calm the whole body, release pain, and reflexology does block pain signals within the body. With the zone that I showed you, it improves digestion because we're working on the digestive reflexes. It's really great at balancing the hormones in the body and activating lymphatics, so part of our immune and detox system of the body. And it's really great for sleep too, so it's got a whole host of benefits. And yeah, just doing those two little things daily, when you wake up or before you go to bed is going to be really, really relaxing for the body and really helpful for the body.
Thank you. I mean, this is amazing, and I'm sure if we were going to do like a 30-day challenge of, okay, let's do this every day, and then like write down or be very aware of what happens when you start and then at the end of the 30 days, I'm sure it's going to be
totally. And it doesn't,
right?
As you're saying, it doesn't take long, less than 5 minutes just to work a little bit on your feet, especially at the end of the day when you've been walking on them and quite swollen and warm, and just helping to release them a little bit before you go to bed. So
we spend a lot of time in front of our laptop, seated, like either watching TV or Netflix or working, etc. And our feet many times stay in the same position for hours, right? So is there anything that we could do, or while we are seated there, that we can do at the same time that we're working? It doesn't require our full attention, but that the feet are moving, and that also can be helpful.
Well, first of all, it's always good to put your feet up and have them, higher than your knees, or like lying down, or just when you're watching TV, putting it up on like that, because it helps to the blood to back out of the feet, because we get that pressure in. So that's helpful. But first thing I think about, if you're sitting at your desk all day, it wouldn't be a bad idea to have a little soft ball or a little dowel, like even a roll in, and just keep rolling your feet. Just move the ball around, and it's all about really listening to your feet when you feel those tender areas. Really hard and work it out. Just be curious about it and gentle in releasing. So, your feet on the wall at the bottom of your desk is something that you can do that's super easy and helpful for just activating those reflexes. top of your feet.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any favorite balls? Because I mean, some other people that I have, or experts that I have interviewed, some of them prefer lacrosse ball, others say tennis ball, or
Right.
a spiky ball. Like,
I think any would
what's your
do,
favorite
but even
one?
like a smaller, like a ping pong ball, you know, or I guess you could do a golf ball. That's a lot harder, but again, as long as you're not pressing too hard, that size would be great. Or the feel of more of a spiky ball that could be helpful too. But again, we're just trying to, it's almost like a body massage, but for the feet. So you're just getting them moving and, yeah, you're just feeling it around there and discovering if you have any tight spots and activating it.
And then, Suzanne, why should all we visit a
Yeah, so
reflexologist?
what I love about what I do is that it's still sort of emerging. Not everybody knows about it yet. I mean, it's a very ancient practice. It's been around for more than 5,000 years. They found it in Egyptian hieroglyphics and, you know, Chinese medicine. Acupuncture is very similar. So it's been around for a really long time. And it's obviously something that humans have known has been a way to activate our natural our body to heal. So I think it's really important to see someone, if you can, near you, just as part of your health and wellness. A lot of my clients I see on a monthly basis, and it's just like a massage. It's a tune-up for their body. Or if we're working on a chronic condition, I'll see them more often. But it's a really great alternative, gentle practice to incorporate into your, you know, monthly health and wellness plan.
I agree. Something that I love to do it. Well, I do it especially when I'm traveling. You know, it's like, oh, it's the perfect time to relax and
Totally.
like a foot massage. But yeah, I mean, this is inspiring me to have it as part of my monthly tradition.
Totally, because it's like anything, right? The more consistent you are with doing it, the more you can work more things out of your body and sort of keep the train going and as they come up. Yeah, so it's really, really helpful that way. And, you know, I do get a lot of messages from people who say that they don't have a reflexologist near them, or how do they find one? So the best way is to look if you have a local association, or where are you located? Look up like the Reflexology Association of Colorado, and normally it will have a website where there will be different practitioners that are, you know, certified or registered. So you can find someone that has actually done the training, them. And if not, I actually do have I have some online courses that I offer to people to work on their own feet at home if they have access to a reflexologist. One of my main ones is called Pain-Free Feet. So it's a way to work on your feet to release them, reduce any sort of pain you have going, plantar fasciitis, bunions, you know, metatarsalgia, numbness and tingling. A lot of people have neuropathy, but you're also going to get all of the full body benefits of the reflexology as well. So there's definitely options there. Either seeing someone in person on a regular basis, or you can actually learn to work on yourself and your loved ones. Yeah.
So Suzanne, if it's okay with you, I want to take a couple of questions from our viewers. And then there are two that kind of stay with me, and let's respond to this question. So one of our viewers asked if reflexology was good for arthritis.
Very, very helpful for arthritis. So whether you have it in the feet or elsewhere in the body. So reflexology is amazing for blocking pain signals in the body. So after you get a treatment, you'll actually feel less pain, and you will promote healing and circulation to those areas. So yeah, it's amazing for arthritis. It's amazing for autoimmune conditions as well that are based in, you know, stress in the body. Very, very helpful. And then particularly if you're working on the feet, that helps to release a lot of the joints, reduce a lot of the inflammation that is locked up in the feet as well. So it's very helpful for arthritis.
And then another viewer was asking about how to improve the foot circulation. because this person was sharing that she had all the time kind of cold feet and actually towards
Right.
purplish color.
Yeah. So one of the ways to improve circulation is to let your toes play, especially if you have toes that are together. Play, making sure your socks and shoes aren't tight. Also, toe separators can be helpful for that as well. They basically go in between and help to spread the toes. So that helps get the proper circulation going. And then physically working on your feet. So doing some of the exercises I showed you, doing any of my tutorials that I have, just working on the feet to bring that fresh circulation down to the feet. You know, spending at least 5 minutes a day massaging your feet is going to help improve that circulation and bring it down to the area.
Susan, thank you so much. My last question that I ask everyone is, who has inspired you in your journey as a reflexologist? And I ask this because usually we are not on our own. There is always what I call angels or even mentors, virtual mentors even, that can help us to, to move forward, especially with our passions. So who are these people that inspire you? So
I take inspiration from other entrepreneurs, but honestly, within my space of what I do, I just have a roadmap of other people, share reflexology the way that I try to on social media to reach a large amount of people. And all I say is just honestly, within my heart, my intuition, that source that I'm connected to spiritually, I feel like I am here to spread that healing, spread the light, and try to let people know about this form of healing all across the world. And I have had that since I was little. I always felt like I was here to do something special like that. First I thought I was going to be an Academy Award winning actor, but no be that way. But, if it's this way, this has worked out perfect for me as well. So I take inspiration from a lot of things. I'm very creative. So I'm always, looking at other businesses, but I'm always checking in with myself about what feels right as far as, being the messenger for this type of work. So yeah, I kind of just have my own guiding light, if that makes sense.
Makes totally sense. Yeah, totally. Thank you for that answer. And then for the viewers and anyone else that is going to watch this live later, where can they find you?
I'm probably most on my Instagram here, so at Foot Guru Reflexology. As I mentioned in my highlights there, I have tons of tutorials, or if you click on my bio link, I've got free tutorials there. I've got all my online courses and for other professionals as well. And I am on TikTok, the same, YouTube, same one, and my website, footgurureflexology.com. So if you're local to me, I'm in North Vancouver, Canada. So I see clients in home, and I bring everything to them. I see women in home, bring all the healing there and let them have that time to relax in their own home. You can always see me that way, or catch me online at any of those.
Susan, thank you so much for this. It has been amazing, and also for your patience with all this technology issue. And then I'm already thinking it's like, I'm sure
I would love to. Yeah, I love chatting with you, Paola, so that would be great.
Yes. There is always so much to learn about feet, and this was like a quick brush of the feet world. But enjoy your weekend. Thank you everyone for watching us, and then we look forward to seeing you either here live or through our websites or Instagram account.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay, good talk.
Bye.